Welcome to the What's Already podcast, where we fashion ourselves television judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We are here live. It's just the two of us. This should be interesting. They left the conspiratorial crazies together
all by
an
themselves.
Yeah, to talk about Westworld of all things, like the most conspiratorial show probably ever written. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, here we are talking about Westworld season 4, episode 2. See, we got some people watching. If you are watching and you have not watched this episode and you want to avoid spoilers, don't keep watching because we're going to spoil some shit.
I have questions.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Well, and understand, Alec. So Alec is just, for everybody watching, Alec is just now, he's kind of watching simultaneously, right? So, yeah,
just finished season one. And now it's way worse.
Throughout.
Yeah. It's way worse now because I have a semblance of understanding what's happening, but not enough of the entire pie to really understand it. And so no.
Yeah, there's characters that you probably recognize that are different versions of themselves that you're like, wait, what?
Like Clementine turned into the bodyguard of the century. Holy smokes.
You know, it's interesting. Clementine's had season 2. She has an interesting role. Season 3, I don't know that she was in it really, except for like Maeve's memories when she was having some memories from the park stuff. And Maeve just continues to be my favorite character in this show. Like, I love Maeve. She's badass.
Oh, yeah.
So snarky, doesn't give a shit. But I'm worried because they're playing with her, giving her all, like, she's not able to do her powers quite as powerful. The upgrade. And I love it. It's a nice little Matrix Easter egg there. Ooh, upgrades.
Yeah. We have a couple new agents on the playing field.
Exactly. I was very interesting episode.
We kind of start off right at the races, where last episode was a little bit of catch up. This episode comes out swinging. We're like in Spain, right at the beginning, and we see Clementine kind of get murked. I love that word. Thank you, Dalton.
Great word.
And then we bounce straight into conspiracy theory with senators.
Yeah, being
hosts.
Yeah,
I loved it,
dude. It was dope, huh?
Oh,
I had a feeling I like that there's two simultaneous, because we also see this U.S. district attorney or whatever it is that's trying
deputy assistant general or something.
Yeah, whatever the hell, the 16 titles that they have in their name. They do the fly thing, which really creeped me the hell out, by the way. Like, when it crawled into the top of his eyelid, I was like, no, don't do that.
Why wouldn't you close your eyes?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Out. It's not okay. So, so we've got this parallel of two ways humanity being controlled. They're either being replaced. And I liked it that Hale acknowledged that she goes, what would be the point if we just replaced all of you? Like, what kind of existence is that? But I have plans. And so we see that he's being taken over in the same way that the cartel guy in the first episode was. So interesting to see why they might choose one over the other versus just replacing or just taking over. So interesting things there. Hale's epically scary. Haloris. Yeah, she's twisted, that one. And huge spoiler at the end. Oh my God. So
my man, Ed Harris.
Dude. So again, there's some things you're missing from seasons 2 and 3 as you watch them. But the end of season 3, there was a post-credit scene and things weren't looking good for the real Man in Black, which obviously he's still kicking it and still around right now. So it's interesting what kind of role he might play, or if he's just going to be in the cryo deep freeze.
Yeah.
And it was just to mess with you. I think it's a Hale thing. So
like he's a trophy.
Yeah, so this season 3, some spoilers for you for season 3, so I apologize, but season 3, there's not really a ton of huge secrets like there is in the first two.
Okay.
So but season 3, Hale is a version of Dolores. Um
Oh.
and then what happens is,
Oh.
yes. So that's why I call her Hale Loris. That was her nickname all through season 3, is Hale Loris. So what happens is by the end of season 3, this version of Hale and Dolores, because she's Dolores inside Hale's body, playing Hale apart, like as the head of Delos or the head of the board of Delos. So she's having this real identity crisis through season 3. And by the end of it, some things happen, some things change, and she kind of adopts the personality that you see here. So she's a little bit of all of them, but a little bit of none of them at the same time. So she's her own thing now, which is cool to see. And I think that the pieces of Hale and Dolores that are there and still part of her have attached themselves to the Man in Black, because he was a huge part of both of them and both of their lives. And so I think that's why. I think two things. One, it's to show, hey, I won. And two, there's still a level of attachment, and she's at the top of her game right now, and that gets a little lonely. And, host
You can't
version of
brag to
him,
just anybody.
yeah, and host version of him, I mean, obviously has similar tendencies, but it's still a host, and she knows it. So I think we'll find out that's a big deal. So who knows if we'll see real Ed Harris again, or if we're just looking at, host Ed Harris from the rest of this. But
I hope he just gets to come back out and be his demented, psychotic self again.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. Dude, so much happens in season 2 with him that you're just gonna be like, what the fuck? And then, dude, the part where he's sitting on what looked like the 8th hole of, I can't remember the course now, but damn it, I can't think of it. But that looked like a hole of golf that I know. But anyway, he sinks a hole in one 3 times in a row in the exact same way, just to screw with the freaking vice president. Dude, that was such a fun scene.
Oh yeah. And I don't even like golf.
Yeah. It was very indicative. It reminded me of the scene we were talking about before we started recording before we went live, with the Ford and the member of the board when they're sitting on the balcony. And then there's another similar scene in season 2 where it's like these threats are happening, these veiled threats that aren't necessarily really veiled. So very cool to see like these mirror images, and it follows some of the similar patterns. But that was a cool scene where he just kept watching going, what the hell? And then you see like the light bulb on the third one. It's like no real human being could do that. So this isn't good.
And then you have the line of, you should have brought the entourage.
Yeah. And then you walk up the hill with Clementine just wiping her hands of the entourage.
Yeah. After she totally just jerked him around a little bit. Why do they call you the Secret Service? You guys seem kind of obvious.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
And then, like, paralleling this, we have that whole Dolores, Christina, whoever timeline going on, where she like writes stories that really happened, but not now. They happen earlier, or she's some sort of mind meld time thing, which is confusing because now they're telling you something's messed up with time, whereas in the first episode they kind of let you figure that out on your own. Now they're telling you, which makes it harder to figure out, in my opinion. What do you think, AJ?
I still think that Dolores, that version of Dolores, the Christina, is the original Dolores. And you're not this. So this is another spoiler for season 3. At the end of season 3, that version of Dolores gets like uploaded into a machine called Rehoboam. And it was like this AI that basically controlled human lives. It was through an algorithm. And so it would say, it was kind of like, what's that movie with Tom Cruise and where they predict
Total Recall?
Yeah, no, where they predict crime. Son of a bitch. anyway, they're police force that they do pre-crime, and so they get the little ball. He was kind of like that, where they can see something like where the path that a human being was going to take, and so if they were going to become terrible, then this machine would find a way to eliminate them or change their course to prevent that from happening if it was possible. So it's really this twist, and they did it using the data from the park that they got from the hats. So it's this twisted thing. So I think she's in some sort of simulation that is a leftover of being uploaded into Rehoboam in some way, shape, or form, because the machine gets destroyed in the war, they implied, but I think her mind either moved itself or did something through this machine, and she's in some sort of construct that they're either Delos and Hale are using to figure out how to control the humans, and we just don't realize that through Rehoboam and Dolores, or she's in this and she's got to figure out how to get out. But she's basically creating this whole world and doing it. But my guess is Hale's been using her. That's my thought. Prediction number 1.
Boom, write it down. Jeez.
Yeah.
This show, man, I swear.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's good having someone on that actually appreciates the craziness of the show. Like,
oh my goodness. Appreciate. Yeah. I'm in awe. I love it.
Yeah. See?
And like, it's great because we're going back into a park now, except it's no longer Cowboyville. It's like
1920s, baby.
In Chicago.
Yes.
Living that good life.
Can I tell you that when they got on the train, like when they go into that thing and it goes down and you realize they're on a train, like I got goosebumps because I was like, yes, we're going back to a freaking park. And the mirror of the first season with William and Logan being on the train, riding into the park and getting the hat choice and the clothes. And dude, that made me so happy because I've been worried because season 3, you're not in the park at all. It's all in the real world and there's no park whatsoever. So I was really happy to be going back to a park, and I'm excited to see where they take it because I think it's going to be batshit.
Oh, I hope so. Because that was actually like, when I'm watching season 1, that was kind of a cool thing that, there's more than one park.
Yeah.
You get that in the last episode or the second to last episode where you realize there's, Samurai World.
Yep.
And there's multiple parks, and this complex is ginormous.
Yep.
And so now we get to go back into a completely new park. And it should be fantastic because I love that time period.
Mm-hmm. So, interesting fact, and this came with two things. First, be excited because you get to see a couple of the other worlds in season 2, including Shogun World.
Oh, it's not Samurai World.
No, it's Shogun.
I'm changing it. It's Samurai World.
I like it. And then there's an Indian world that you see like, too. Like, no. Sorry, the Southeast Asian Indian, actual India. Like,
all right, that's cool.
Yeah, and I can't remember what they called the world, but you'll that's like very early on in the season you'll see that, and then there's like a tiger. It's cool.
No way.
Yeah, it's dope. But I'm really interested in one of the questions that I had as I was watching this was, is this new park in the States? Because the original park was outside of the United States. That was one of the things that they had to do in order to have the park. And they mention it in season 1 in passing, and they mention it again in some flashbacks with Logan and William and Daddy. You'll meet Logan's dad. Daddy. Ooh. We called him Daddy Delos in season 2. So you'll meet him. You'll love him. He's played by, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but played by a big actor that you'll be like, what? So anyway, here we go. So they mentioned that it's offshore. And then they called back to it this episode when he meets with the vice president. And it feels to me like that whole meeting was, and getting the vice president on board was to be able to have the park in the United States. that's what that felt like they needed the votes for with the senator and the vice president to make sure it happened, was to
Aha.
not be offshore.
So that's the whole reason why we've never messed with you as long as you keep your shit offshore.
Exactly.
But not here, not on the mainland type of thing.
Correct. Yeah, we can't have you in the States. So I'm
Well,
interested to see.
William Host did not like that.
No, not even a little bit. I kind of wanted to see him get hit with the club, not just the swing. Like,
yeah. I mean, the show hasn't shied away from that kind of violence before.
Yeah. I mean, not even. I mean, we were gutting horses earlier in the episode, which was harder for me to watch than the humans getting hit with a golf club.
Right? That was messed up.
Yeah. Great to
but-
see some cameos there from those two, the senator and his wife.
Yeah.
She was big on. She did a show called Boston Legal. She's done a couple movies. She did a movie with Adam Sandler. I can't remember the name, but he was from Heroes. He was horn rim glasses from. He was HRG from Heroes. So that was kind of cool to see those guys in it. So.
Yeah, they haven't done anything, or he hasn't done anything big really since then, right?
Not that I know of.
And he's got that. He looks like a senator.
Yeah.
He's got that look.
He's good because he looks all wholesome and smart, but he also looks like he's a real bastard too. Like, you know what I mean? He's got that dual arrogant, nasty side, but
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Papa William does not shy away from making the host nasty.
Dude. Well, and think about, this was another great instance of seeing how ruthless and just mean. She's just mean, Hale. Like, you murder this woman's husband right in front of her, and then not only do you not kill her, which you could do and it wouldn't be an issue. Like, there's no reason to keep her alive and make her butcher her own horses. Like, that's messed up. Like,
the knife she was stabbed with, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like, it's messed up. That's this.
That chick's bonkers.
Yeah, Hale's not okay. Like, she's got all the Wyatt pieces of Dolores and all the crazy, because Hale was nuts. Regular Hale was nuts.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I think she, and you know, this might be in later seasons, but I think she kind of took it personally that Anthony Hopkins outplayed her.
Oh, for sure.
Like, hard in that first season. She wasn't even really playing.
No. She wasn't even part of the game.
And so now she's like out for vengeance.
Yeah.
On literally everyone, just to prove that she's the best.
Well, and she goes to a couple of extremes in season 2 as well. Yeah, but she gets outplayed, and season 2 doesn't go very well for her either.
Is that where she gets burned? And her sick burn?
No, that particular, because this is the host version. Real Hale in season 2, things don't go very well as far as she thinks she's smarter than she actually is. But the host version of that happens in season 3, the burn.
Okay.
That's messed up too. Oh, I forgot about that. I just made me think about how that all happened. And
oh, great. Am I gonna hate it?
You're gonna feel for her, and then you're gonna have to see. I didn't have to balance it with what I just watched. you're gonna feel for her on how that happens and understand why she's the way she is now, all at the same time.
Great.
It's messed up. It's messed up what happens to her. Messed up. So yeah, great episode.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm intrigued to see where it goes, because they talk about the when Maeve is kind of interrogating the senator, talk about this new world order that Mr. Williams seems to be building. And if they're putting the park, or trying to get the park on shore or on the mainland, I have to wonder if they were building them offshore in case they had some sort of critical failure, and the host got out, type of a thing. Because if they do build on site and you have a host in control, and Hale was leaning towards, hey, now the humans are here to lose. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what kind of mafia shit they get up to in the Roaring 20s
Well,
with
and
their
here's the
zoot
other
suit.
sure, and well, yeah, I'm excited for Gangster World, like, because that's gotta be what this is like Gangster World. So, or you can call it Rico World. That'd be funny too. Here's my thing though, and here's why I think they wanted it on the States, and here's my theory about the new park, or at least in part. How could it possibly be easier to replace people than they go into the park human and they come out host?
Oh, although, well, I guess it wouldn't matter because it's who they're targeting anyway. Because they're still keeping it bougie, right? Where only
Yeah,
the rich get to go in. I guess
sure,
that's who
the
they're
elite.
targeting
Ye
anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but that's interesting.
Mhm.
And they can keep the depraved ones just under their control with the flies. They don't need hosts.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ah,
That was my thought of the new park. I was like, "Uh-oh." It's like, "We have an easy replacement factory right here." And nobody would know because you just take them in. They're off on their own because we've seen in the first season and the second season when they're in the park, they just kind of go.
yeah,
It's not
they're
like they're being
unsupervised.
supervised. They just things are happening. So people could just get drug into the underbelly where like all the manufacturing and stuff happens, and they have a host ready, and bye bye now.
Yeah, shoot.
Yep.
Well, that blows my brain.
Yep.
Thanks, JJ.
You're welcome. This is the shit
You're the worst.
this is the stuff I see when I watch shit like Westworld. I'm like,
Oh
how would
boy.
I do this? And then I
Yeah.
go, I am not okay. Like, I have problems.
You're like, oh no, I never need money in a park, otherwise bad things will happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Super glad to see him back in the park. All right. Anything else that stuck out to you, Alec, on this episode?
Let me think real quick. Let's see. We covered Clementine, covered the senator, vice president, Ed Harris, Hale or Haloris. I think I'm good.
Cool. I do
Although
love
those
Maeve.
self-driving cars are pretty dope.
Dude, so cool. I do have one thought. I'm this boss of Dolores, okay? So if she's not in a simulation and this is some sort of real world thing, is this boss like he's got to be more than just boss, right? Like this is like a supervisor, like a handler for whatever they're using her for, because they're obviously using her to create storylines that are actually happening or will happen or have happened. I don't know yet, but yeah, that's him as a character. I'm like, he's just off. You know what I mean? Like there's something weird about that dude.
He's head of creative writing or head of creative intelligence.
Ooh, see, he's head of the host CIA.
Yeah, and they got her plugged in, and she's just feeding storylines, and he's got to pump them out. So when she's off in Jersey,
Yeah, I did laugh at that. You get 4 sick days a year.
Yeah, and we don't care what you do with them.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right. Well, yeah, there was a lot that happened. It was a fun episode, but it went quick. Like I was like, damn, it's over already. What?
Yeah.
It's like I got another week before I get more of this. This is why I love Westworld though, because I'm so excited right now. Things are going well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe I missed out on this, but I figured out where it was. I figured out why I missed out on this. So we were watching the episodes as they released for the first season.
Yeah.
And I was watching them with a buddy who I used to work with. So I go over to his house and we'd watch them. And then I ended up leaving the job.
Oh no.
And so when I leave a job, I just don't talk to my coworkers anymore. It's not because I don't like them. I just don't do it.
Yeah, of course.
And so we kind of just stopped watching it, and I wasn't going to watch it on my own because if I'm going to watch something on my own, I'm just going to watch Hogan's Heroes or The A-Team or something from the 70s. So that's where it stopped.
Gotcha. Well, can I just tell you that it has been exciting to get texts from you? Like I was up fishing today, getting your text, just laughing. I was like, this is the greatest thing. So yeah, it's been fun to get those, but cool. Well, I'm looking forward to episode 3, especially watching here's what's coming, can't wait to see Bernard back. See Tubbs back. Like there's a lot of people coming and so many characters that I can't wait to see. But there was a piece of if you're like me and you watch for a bunch of stuff, don't watch that because like I said, there's one little brief scene with a new character that I went, oh, that's gonna be, and then so careful.
Be very careful.
Be very careful. Cool. Fun episode. Go watch it if you haven't. Start watching Westworld, people. It's a little violent. It's a lot of sex, but it's worth every second.
And it's conspiracy theory gold.
Oh, that's great.
Go down that rabbit hole.
If you like looking for secret Easter eggs that give you hints towards what's really going on, man, it's your kind of show. It's fun. All right. Well, if you're not watching or listening, go check us out on TikTok. Alec runs that deal. Some great posts. He'll let you know when these lives are coming. Go check us out wherever you can listen to fine podcasts, any and all of those locations. Check us out on YouTube. We're doing tons and tons of videos, lives like this and other videos as well. Check us out, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those. We're there, all at What's Our Verdict. So check us out. Send us an email at host@whatsourverdict.com for something you want us to watch or review, or if you want to tell us we're really awesome or that we suck, you can do all of those things there as well. Yeah. Go check out our previous episodes. We did a review of season 1 and 2 because I made when Mattson and Javier and Ian were part of the podcast, I made them watch season 1 and 2 before season 3 started. And then we episode by episode did season 3. So if you want to listen to the knuckleheads complain about how much they didn't like it, it was sad. I was like, you guys are just disappointing as friends and
not enough explosions going on apparently.
Pretty much. I offended Javier because like, look, dude, it's a very cerebral show and you're kind of a water skeeter, so I mean, you're my favorite water skeeter because he is, but he's a little bit of a surface dweller. Like he doesn't like something, he's got to go deep. And
you're my favorite water skeeter, but
but you are definitely a water skeeter, my friend. If you have to think about the content you're watching, that shit's not for him. So yeah, I loved it. But Ian liked it, I think, but he didn't love it. It was a good show. But Mattson did not like it either very much, which I was surprised when he was down to do a season 4. But we'll see how he'll be back with us next week, I think. So.
And whenever he gets back from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Dork.
What a guy. All right. Well, that's been Westworld season 4, episode 2. This episode will be up on our podcast starting Wednesday to listen to. And you can go back and rewatch it here on Facebook or on YouTube. So feel free to do that. And with that, we will catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Cinemagic out.